Well, Trump and his crew are at it again, this time trying to convince us that forcing Palestinians out of Gaza is a reasonable solution. And when pressed on it, let's just say their logic is, well, as sound as a wet paper bag. Watch.
But you cannot say to all the neighboring countries that they just need to make room for millions of people that they don't want in their...
Why not?
Then you are the world's policeman. Then you are interventionist. Then you are going back on every promise that you made on the
United States. They don't appreciate our climate or our food. Oh, so what should we do? Let them live in rubble and hate the Westerners and hate everyone else and the Jews?
Where are you shipping? You can't make Jordan open up. You can't make
this makes the Arab world have to step up.
Yeah.
And it's smart.
It's not about forcing Jordan or anyone else. It's about making people realize that for economic success in that region, we need to have peace and a rebuilding of Gaza.
So let's get this straight. MAGA was out there for years saying America should not be the world's policeman, but now they're saying that America should tell Palestinians where to go live. So we should be the world's policeman. So are you an interventionist or you're not an interventionist? It seems like they only care about how it fits their political agenda.
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places on earth. And right now, I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there.
It would be my hope that we could do something really good, really nice, where they wouldn't want to return. That's code for ethnic cleansing. This guy's literally saying Palestinians should just go somewhere else where it's comfy and forget about their history, their family, their homes. Don't worry about it. Donald Trump's got it all taken care of. What kind of dystopian world is this? Well, Trump might think that way, but some people are fighting back. Check this out.
Ethnic cleansing has been a crime against humanity. And I stand here today in the well to denounce what was said, to denounce what the president said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
Finally, a Democrat with a spine. That's Representative Al Green saying it like it is and introducing. He says he's going to introduce articles of impeachment. Now, is that going to go far? No, we've already impeached the guy twice and he's back. He's like Freddy Krueger. He just keeps coming back. You can't get rid of him. But he's back, and at least Al Green and some others are saying this is ridiculous. This idea is ridiculous. America cannot be ethnic cleansing another people, the Palestinians. We've already done enough damage with the Palestinians and what happened in Gaza. We've already done enough damage by having our bombs be used to destroy Gaza. And now we're saying, oh, you know what, guys? Just get up and go somewhere nice, go to Jordan, go to Egypt. You'll have a nice place to live, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if you saw the full press conference that he held with Netanyahu, who was sitting there smirking. That guy is just the worst of the worst. He was sitting there smiling the whole time because Donald Trump is basically telling Netanyahu what Netanyahu wants to hear. Because Netanyahu, back in Israel, has a lot of far-right politicians who are supporting him so that he's able to stay in power. Now, if he were to come out of power, then they would look at a lot of the stuff that he did, including, by the way, being the person who was on the watch on October 7th when that tragedy happened. So it was under his watch when the attack happened on October 7th, but somehow he's been able to stay in power all these past couple years, and somehow he's been able to extend this war and continue to kill tens of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza. And now that it's destroyed, he's happy because he's sitting there and he's watching Donald Trump say what he wants, what Netanyahu wants Donald Trump to say, which is that we're going to get rid of the Palestinians and we're going to let, basically he's saying that, the Israelis, the Jews can come live here. That's what he's basically saying. Because if you saw the press conference, somebody asked him, they said, Who would live in Gaza once you rebuild Gaza? He goes, we're going to create the Riviera of the Middle East. And he said, and then they asked him, who would live there, sir? And he goes, the people of the world. That's what he said. The people of the world. What kind of nonsense? Is he making this up? Was this like, did he plan this? Or did he just make it up I think he makes some of it up and some of it is planned. I think there's a little bit of both. I think what's happened is if you look, there's actually a clip. Look it up after this video. Jared Kushner is talking about rebuilding in Gaza and creating great grand properties. Look it up. Just put Jared Kushner talking about Gaza, rebuilding Gaza. It's crazy because these people all think it's okay to say, hey, Palestinians, now that it's destroyed, just get out of here. You can't do that. What you need to do is you need to help them rebuild. We shouldn't have even been in this situation in the first place. You shouldn't have destroyed Gaza to the point that Gaza was destroyed. It's crazy. And here we are as human beings just watching. And when you think, and look, there's a lot of Palestinians, a lot of Arabs who supported Donald Trump. They voted for Donald Trump. The truth is they were very unhappy with the Biden administration and how Biden wasn't able to get a ceasefire. And then also how Kamala during the DNC did not allow Palestinians to speak at the Democratic National Convention, whether that was her or someone on her team. They probably should have let someone speak. And they felt like they weren't heard. The people in Dearborn, Michigan, which is the biggest population of Arabs in America, the people in Dearborn, Michigan were very upset. And we saw that. Many voted for Trump, many voted for Jill Stein, and many did not vote for Kamala Harris. But now they're seeing that, wow, we made a deal with the devil and he ain't going to make it better. He's crazier than we thought. And the question becomes, now what happens? Are we going to send troops there? Trump said we're not sending troops there. The day after, he said we're not going to send troops there. But if he's really serious about America rebuilding Gaza, then you're going to need some troops there. And the last time we had a big troop presence in somewhere in that part of the world, not counting the bases in Kuwait and some of these other countries, Bahrain, elsewhere, was the embassy in or the military barracks in Beirut. You see, what we do, folks, is America gets a foot in, all right? And once you get your foot in, it causes more feet to go in. And eventually you find yourself in a situation like we were for many years in Iraq or 20 years in Afghanistan, where you think you're going to solve something, but you don't. We've just done that continuously. We're an imperialistic country, so we've been involved in many countries. And I don't think Americans have the appetite for it, but it seems like Donald Trump might, because he wants to build what he calls the Riviera of the Middle East. And he's asking Palestinians, hey guys, just please go to Egypt or to Jordan. By the way, Egypt and Jordan already have a lot of Palestinians living in both of those places. Egypt and Jordan are not wealthy countries where they can just keep taking more people and it's not a big deal. That was that big debate there with Jeanine Pirro in the beginning. You saw Judge Jeanine Pirro, the drunk judge on Fox. She was saying, well, they can't come. Why would they come here? Their values are different than ours. What do you mean? They have family values? That's not good enough for you? And by the way, why would they go anywhere? They shouldn't go anywhere. They should remain in Gaza. They're Gazan. They have a history there. They're Palestinians. They have a history there. They have homes that you destroyed. So help them rebuild it and find ways to help the Palestinian people rebuild and maybe give the Palestinian people some hope. Maybe rebuild to a point where you rebuild some schools and you rebuild some businesses and maybe you give them some opportunity, some hope so that they have their own freedom. Maybe you give them an ability to come in and out of Palestine as they need to. Maybe we do that. Maybe we go another way. Maybe we find a two-state solution. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe we get everybody involved and come up with a two-state solution where Israelis and Jews can be secure and Palestinians can have their freedom. They can have their own sovereignty. The point is, you can't just say, "Oh, we're going to give them a nice, comfortable place to go." Yeah, what? The whole world just went, "What? All the countries in the Middle East are going, "What?" Even the countries like Saudi Arabia who was getting ready to have some progress with their relations with Israel, or countries like the UAE or other countries that had already mended what was called the Abraham Accords under Donald Trump, where some of these other Arab countries started, having better relations with Israel. Even those countries right now, Qatar, they're going, we can't be like, oh yeah, sure, let's do that. Let's just get the Palestinians out of Gaza. Give you what, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years? How many years you need for your contractors to come in and your trucks to rebuild it? And then when you rebuild it, who's going to come live there? That lady asked Donald Trump, and he said, hopefully they find a place that's so comfortable they won't want to come back. Really? I mean, what's going on in that guy's head? Why would you even say that? Like, why would you even say that? I understand, by the way, because the defense that they have is they go, well, this conflict has existed, this occupation has existed for this long. What are we going to do? How are we going to solve it? We got to do something. Well, something is not saying, hey, Palestinians, get up and go. That's not it. You can't say that to the Palestinians. You can't say that to the Jews and the Israelis. Get up and go. No, we got to find a solution. And that's where the world has failed this Israeli-Palestinian issue for many years, is that the world has not done the job it needs to do. Every country needs to be hands-on and realize that this is something that will continue until we find a real solution. And that real solution is not find a comfy place for Palestinians so they don't want to come back. That's not the real solution. Oh, guys, it's only been 2 weeks. Only been 2 weeks. What's next? I don't know. Oh, I'm a comedian. I'm Maz Jobrani. I've got a special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. Check it out. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you laugh, whether you're Palestinian or you're Israeli or you're Jewish or you're Muslim or you're Christian or whatever. I want you to have your own land, and I want you to come laugh with me, and I want you to come together with me. Let's come together. Let's coexist, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the special, and I'll talk to you soon.